Hello there, this is Chris, and I want to welcome you to another podcast from Agent X Coaching. I am so excited to be here. I'm excited about this topic today. So we're going to dive right in with a question. So what do you think differentiates and separates a real estate agent who makes $50,000 a year and a real estate agent who makes $250,000 a year? Do you think it is their connections? Do you think it is how long they've been in the business? Do you think it's how many multi-million-dollar homes that they've listed? What do you think it is? We are going to unravel that, and I am going to tell you a very unexpected answer because anyone can do it. I find that most real estate agents just are not doing it. I have found in my career in working with thousands of real estate agents that so many of them are just looking for the big win, that one giant listings that's going to bring them $40, $50, $60,000 commission. They're always looking for that one big thing. But what we find is that everyone is overlooking the little things, and that is our mistake. That is our topic today, is to focus on the little things. So we are going to break down some different ideas, some antidotes. I'm going to give you some quotes, some stories, so that this concept can sink in, because it is way too important for you not to pay attention to it. And the nice thing is, it doesn't cost anything. It just takes your time and your buy-in to this idea. So let's jump into a few little anecdotes that I can give you so that you can start to understand this concept and realize how important it actually is. So like I've spoke about before, I was a mortgage lender since 2004, which really was fortunate for me now that I'm a real estate coach, because I don't know anyone who talks to more real estate agents than a mortgage lender. So I've had a chance to talk with thousands of agents, and I have seen the ones that are very successful, and I've studied their habits, and I've seen the real estate agents that are on that roller coaster and they have struggled, and I know what their habits look like. So I am going to tell you the best things that you can do as a real estate agent now so that you can be successful and be more towards that $250,000 agent rather than that $50,000 a year agent. So let's take a look at some of the things that you can start doing right away. I want to tell a really quick story about making small little investments in yourself in order to gain a skill that you can then use to go make an income and meet more people and close more transactions, help more people. So I am fortunate enough to have 4 wonderful children in my life. And some of my kids got interested in juggling. Now, it's hard to juggle if you don't know how to juggle. You're just kind of holding 3 balls and you don't know what to do. You're kind of throwing 2 in the air at once, and it's confusing. But I'm going to tell you that the way that my kids learned how to juggle is by spending 5 minutes a day juggling. Yes, they got frustrated. They did it for 5 minutes. They couldn't figure it out. They put them down. The next day, we did it again, 5 minutes, put them down. After a month and a half, all of them are walking around the house. They're juggling. They're looking at the apples and the bananas and the shoes in the basket. They're juggling everything in sight. So what I'm getting at here is I want to ask you is, are you investing those little 5-minute increments in your business, in your job, so that you can become better? We want to make these small little improvements, and that's what's going to get us to where we want to go. Many people understand the principles that James Clear has taught in his book, Atomic Habits. He has something called the 1% rule. So if you get 1% better at something every day, the math would say that after a year, which would be 365 days of getting 1% better, that you would now be 37 times better than you were when you started. Okay, so that's kind of a staggering number because getting 1% better every day seems pretty simple, right? Whether that was, doing push-ups or something else physical like running, or whether that was learning AI or some other computer system that you can use for your job. If you just get 1% better every day, you are going to be 37 times better at the end of the year than you were when you started. So that's the principle of this constant improvement, this 1% rule that we're going to be talking about today. What I have seen time and time again with real estate agents is that they often are looking to get like 50% better this week. They just are anxious to get going and they want to get really, really good, really, really fast, okay? But what happens is they kind of burn themselves out. They spend that first week trying to do all of these things, but then all of a sudden they get distracted. There's other things to do. They stop working on this thing. So this is the idea that we're going to be talking about today is we're just going to be consistent. I cannot tell you how important consistency is. It doesn't matter if we're talking about being a real estate agent or juggling or going to the gym and getting fit, whatever it is, it's about the consistency. So let's talk about some ways that you can start to be consistent in your own career. So for the next 10 or 15 minutes, I'm going to be talking about these little micro habits. Now, I'm not asking you to go do anything for 45 minutes or 60 minutes. I'm asking you to do something for 5 minutes. So let's say we do the micro habit of market research. Maybe you get up every morning, you have your coffee, you open up your laptop, and you spend 5 minutes doing some local market research. That could be on the city hall website, the county website. Maybe there's some kind of a online newspaper that you read, whatever it is. You're going to spend about 5 minutes just learning a little bit. One tidbit, one fact is all you need to accumulate in a local area. So if you were to learn one fact in a local area every single day, all year long, and now you knew 365 facts about that area, I guarantee you're going to have the authority in that area. Nobody else is going to have 365 facts about that local area like you do. The next micro habit that we're going to talk about is in building relationships. Now, social media is kind of the low-hanging fruit these days when it comes to little micro habits, because what you can do is take these small actions on social media every day. Everybody spends 5 minutes a day on social media. You spend 5 minutes a day in your first 5 minutes of the day. A lot of people do. They don't even get out of bed and they've got their first 5 minutes of social media under the belt. So you could comment, you could like, you could send someone a DM. Just spend 5 minutes doing some meaningful interactions. I really like the idea of either DMing someone or texting someone maybe out of the blue. Just kind of maybe you have some information to share. Maybe you just want to say hi, see how their day was, see how their last weekend was, whatever it is. You're just going to spend 5 minutes taking these little micro actions to build some relationships in your life. And if you do that every single day, imagine the amount of connections and the amount of opportunities you've had to share with people and build that trust. So micro actions, 5 minutes every day, just kind of touch a few little points on social media through your phone, and that's going to accomplish that first micro habit there of relationship building. So let's talk about how we can get better at micro habits when it comes to lead generation. So lead generation is one of those hot buttons. It's something that everybody wants to know more about, wants to talk about, but you can be your own engine and your own fuel when it comes to lead generation if you will just take those 5 minutes and invest them purposefully, intentionally in lead generation. So you may make 3 or 4 phone calls every day, reach out to some people, ask them some questions, tell them what you're doing. That might be a way for you to gain some relationships and potentially get some leads. You might also consider improving your script. So as you're calling maybe past clients, you might find that I had a little bit of an awkward or an uncomfortable interaction or conversation with someone. So maybe just kind of write down what it is that you said and what felt weird. And then you can spend 5 minutes kind of tweaking your script and improving on that. Imagine if you would make 5 phone calls a day and then spend 5 minutes trying to improve the script. After you did that for a couple of weeks, imagine how much better your script would be if you improved it just a little bit every single day for the next 10 days, 15 days, 20 days, kept getting that script and those interactions, kept getting 1% more comfortable and allowing yourself to get out of your comfort zone by 1% extra every day. Imagine where that's going to take you when it compounds over months and years. Now, I know lots of real estate agents do not like keeping track of data, but I would highly encourage you to do so. So if you had a sheet where you tally marked all of the phone calls that you made in a day, in a week, in a month, and then you challenged yourself to maybe do more than that the next month, then I'm going to guess that you are now optimizing those phone calls and you are going to get so good at doing so. Now, of course, outbound phone calls is not the only way for you to get leads, but it makes for a nice example here because I know there is call reluctance. So I want you to get over call reluctance by 1% every day and just allow yourself to be pushed not too far, just 1%. Next, we are going to talk about skill development and doing some of these little micro sessions at getting better at your skills. So one exercise that a lot of real estate agents neglect to do is role playing. Now, I guarantee you that if you will role play with someone else in your office or another peer that you know in the industry, you are going to find that your skill of working with buyers, maybe it's that first conversation with a potential client, maybe it's your listing presentation. If you will spend a little 5, 10, 15-minute session once a week, twice a week, doing some role playing, maybe you just videotape yourself talking over your listing presentation and then you watch it. And then the next day you do it again. You make some notes on how you could get a little bit better. These are the kinds of things that the pros are doing, okay? This is the answer that you've been looking for, whether you like it or not. You're going to improve if you put in the effort to improve. I talked in one of my last podcasts about if you want more, you need to become more. This is a quote from Jim Rohn, and it just applies to this situation so much because if you don't want to put in this work, that's okay, but don't expect for your income to go from $50,000 to $250,000 if you're not putting in the work. So I want to encourage you and inspire you to get better. I want to get better as a real estate coach. I want to post more videos and make sure that my message is better than it was yesterday. And I want to help more real estate agents find ways to tap in to those special traits that they have. And so what I'm trying to do here is get better. And I want to encourage you to get better. So no matter what it is, if you don't like yourself on camera, that's okay. Get on camera and then do it again tomorrow and then do it again tomorrow. Imagine how good you would be if you would go in to a home and do a little 60-second home tour for your Instagram page twice a week, okay? And you did that for the next 50 weeks, okay? That's about a year, okay? So now you've done 100 home tours. Don't you think on your 101st little 60-second home tour that you post on Instagram, it's going to be really, really good? It's your 101st try. But if you don't start, you're not going to start the clock on getting better. So this is what I'm doing, is encouraging you to want to get better, to just love this game. This last one I'm going to talk about is one that I just love. This is the micro habit of morning and evening routines. These things are so incredibly important, and they can move the needle for you in ways that you cannot even imagine. Those real estate agents, those business professionals in any industry that are journaling every morning, that are doing a gratitude practice or a guided deep breathing practice, or writing down a positive affirmation about themselves, kind of having a little motto in their mind about how today's going to go, visualization, meditation, anything like that. It could be 10 push-ups. If you will commit to just doing 10 push-ups before you walk out of the house every morning, that one little discipline will snowball and gain momentum in so many areas of your life, you will not even believe it. There's another trick, a tip that I want to share with you. It's called the treasure hunt. And so what you do with the treasure hunt, this is an evening routine. You have a little book sitting by the side of your bed. And with the treasure hunt, what you do is you close your eyes and you go through your mind. You start your day at the very beginning and you play it back and you find those great moments, those little interactions. It could be a hug with one of your kids or your partner. It could be a little win that you had. Someone may compliment you on what you were wearing or how you looked or whatever it was. You're just going to go through and you're going to write down all of those little treasure hunt items. I learned this from a gentleman named Dr. Amen. He is terrific. I would encourage you to find him on Instagram, look at some of his stuff. He's absolutely wonderful. But he brought us the treasure hunt idea, and I want to share that with you now. These ideas will definitely move the needle for you, but you have to believe. I call it turning on a light bulb in your mind or having buy-in. But all of these things I'm telling you right now, these are real. These are what the top people are doing. This is what people pay Tony Robbins thousands and thousands of dollars to tell them, is to have gratitude, is to see your life through a different lens, have passion and energy and want to improve. You could get better at your career. You could be a better mother, a better father, a better partner. All of these things, it takes this mindset shift for you to decide that this is who I want to be. This is what I want to do. I want to get 1% better at everything in my life. And I'm not telling you this to overwhelm you. I'm telling you this to excite you, because getting 1% better in a day is not very hard. The hard part is the consistency and doing it tomorrow and again tomorrow. So that's my message. Come up with a few things, start these micro habits, and get better every single day. That's going to move the needle for you. So now that we have covered all of these different ways that we can get 1% better every day, it would be unrealistic for me to expect you to go and jump on all of these tomorrow. So what I want you to do right now is we're going to take a deep breath. We're going to relax, and we're just going to think about some of the things that I just talked about, and I want you to pick one. Okay, you might say that, you know what, I'm going to get better at skill building, and I'm going to find someone in my office to do a little bit of role playing with. Maybe it's just going to be once or twice a week for 5 minutes. We're just going to kind of break the ice and get out of our comfort zone and say a few things, see how it feels, and get better in that way. Maybe you're going to start journaling or doing the treasure hunt idea. Whatever it is, I just want you to pick one and make the commitment to yourself that I am going to do this for the next 7 days straight. Okay, that is the commitment that you make to yourself. We want to have these small little activities equal big wins for us and build that confidence that we need if we are going to then stack more little 1% improvements on top of that. So pick one and then make that commitment to yourself to do it for the next 7 days. Now that we have committed to doing one skill and getting better at it every day, I want you to track it. Okay, we are going to make a commitment to ourselves to do this thing for 7 days. And you may decide to put a little tally mark like on a chalkboard or a whiteboard in your kitchen, kind of a public place where your family can see it. You've told them that you're going to do this. Maybe you are going to tell a peer in your office what you're going to do. They're going to check in with you and hold you accountable. But once you decide on what you're going to do, you're going to follow through with it, do that little 5-minute activity for 7 days straight. You're going to build that confidence. And then after the 7 days, you're going to add another one. Now you've got 2 things that you're going to be getting 1% better at for the next 7 days. You're going to track your progress, celebrate those wins, and then add another one. Just do what feels right. But this discipline really builds momentum, and you will see it show up in so many different areas of your life if you will just stick with it and commit to this. So as I prepare my notes for these podcasts, it's almost impossible for me to avoid quotes from Jim Rohn. So I'm going to read one to you real quick. This is exactly what we've been talking about. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. He followed and trained tens of thousands of entrepreneurs, successful people, and he found that it was those simple little things done every day that the most successful people had. That was the common trait that showed up in the most successful people that he ever came across. So do not take this lightly. This is the big deal. This is the massive change that you've been looking for, is to be consistent on the little things. What we want is to understand that it's all about progress over perfection. We cannot allow ourselves to get trapped in this perfection globe where we just can't get out of it, okay? So many people tell me, I don't like how I look on camera. I don't like how I sound on camera. Whatever it is, they're looking for perfection. What I want you to do is go shoot 100 videos and then tell me how you look on camera, how you sound on camera. It's a discomfort thing. It's an out of my comfort zone thing. Okay, so once you do it 100 times, now it's in your comfort zone. This is just normal. This is just what I do every day. I film a video of myself talking about whatever I'm doing, talking about real estate, talking about my town. I post it on social media. I do it every day. It's just a common thing. It's no big deal. So I want you to take those things that are a little bit outside your comfort zone, kind of creep up on them 1% at a time, and then you're just going to devour all those little things that used to make you uncomfortable. Now you're going to be comfortable with doing those things. That's the magic of the consistency. So like I said before, I have been in this industry since 2004. I was a real estate agent for 7 years. I was a mortgage lender for over 21 years. And what I saw is that the most successful agents were not the ones that I may have thought, right? Just looking at them, they may have not been the most put together. They may have not been the most attractive, the most likable, the youngest, the tallest, the skinniest, whatever it wasn't those things. It was the agents who had systems and disciplines that they did every day, day in and day out. Those were the ones who were making high 6 figures, right? 100,000 a year, 200,000 a year, 300,000 a year. Those are the ones that were in the positions to do more business because they had systems. They were organized. They just did this stuff every single day. So that's what I want to instill in you, is that everybody has the opportunity to do this. You just have to decide and understand this is the secret sauce right here. So I just gave you a 7-day challenge to try and pick one thing that you're going to get 1% better at every day. Do that for 7 days. Now what I want you to do is start to think a little bit bigger. Okay, this is going to be your new life. So now we're going to stretch this out to 30 days. So yes, we're going to do that 7 days, and then we're going to add another one, do that for 7 days. But really the goal is 30 days and 60 days and beyond. So this isn't just a one and done kind of a thing where you do it for a week. This is a commitment where you understand that I do have to do this. I do have to have a mindset shift where this is my life. This is what I love to do. This is what I want to do. The mindset shift that we need here says to us, stop looking for that big breakthrough and start looking at the little pieces of your system of your day. That is where the magic is. Your income will grow if you decide to grow in this way. I promise you. So if you are ready to grow, if you are ready to take on this challenge of more discipline, I want to invite you to come on over to my school community. If you are not already a member, it is completely free. There are other like-minded agents just like you who are on the platform in the community, helping each other, holding each other accountable. I'm doing webinars, posting stuff like this every day. This is the place where you can grow and nurture all of those skills that you want. You can ask questions of me. There's free downloadable worksheets and ideas and systems and tools that I have extracted over this 21 plus year career, and I'm here to share them with you. So I would love to have you over on school. There's a link down below for you. Just click on it, completely free to join, and I will start interacting with you. You can start posting comments and ideas and thoughts, and we'll all share our wins together, and we will start to grow and get 1% better every day together. I want you to remember as we wrap this up that we are not trying to be perfect. All we're trying to do is get 1% better than we were yesterday. You're only going to compare yourself to who you were yesterday, who you were last week. We're not going to compare ourselves to anyone else. We are just getting better ourselves. So this has been another episode from me, Chris Johns, on the Agent X Coaching Podcast. I want to thank you for joining me, and I will see you over at school. I can't wait to keep helping you grow and get better, and I am making a commitment to do the exact same so that I can be the very best coach that I can be for you. Thank you. We'll see you over at school.